Hello! So this is going to be a makeup slash concealer foundation tutorial, just kind of going over what your options are. First of all, I'm going to apologize for the sound quality. Setting up my microphone, I broke the stand. And so now I am using a mason jar, because that's how we do here. I'm going to start with what I did as a kid. I'd say I'd start using concealer about 14. It's when I had a couple years into puberty, and so my acne was finally acting up. And I was very lucky. I don't really have a lot of skin problems, just sometimes I get very oily. So some of what I do is for oily skin, oily white girl skin. And this is going to sound really stupid, but the first thing I ever used as a concealer was Claricel. You actually do rub it in. Actual makeup you don't want to rub into your skin. But you see, this is flesh-ish colored. It's a little yellow. No, okay, that's the lighting. It's roughly my skin color. It's a little dark for me, but it's Claricel, and all that does is dry up your acne. That's what I first used as a concealer, and it worked pretty well, actually. The lighting here is garbage because I'm sitting at my desk with an LED light. But yeah, you just rub that in, and it will do a lot to kind of give you a base layer of just hiding acne spots. Oh, it's very yellow. Okay. It's not really a concealer, but again, it's what I used first. And I say that because as a kid, because I used Claricel as a concealer, I was darker then because I went outside more. Now I am super pale, and you'll see that with some of my makeup. I got some of this makeup when I was darker, and it doesn't really match me now. And this lighting is not helping. So, okay, so that's number one, is Claricel. Yay! Okay, now for actual makeup, I'm going to show you my favorite thing. It is, I actually don't know what this is called, multi-use foundation stick. It's Maybelline. Because you can't see anything, huh? There. Oh, now I know why people do the hand thing on these videos. I don't know. Okay, well, you can kind of see what it is. It has the foundation on one side and the blender on the other. I like this because I like sticks, and I'll actually show you why. If I'm just doing, if there's something, if I'm in a hurry and I particularly have a red acne spot or something, I like this thing, and it kind of looks like a tube of lipstick. I'm actually not sure what this is called. I'm sorry. I'm trying to help. Yeah, this isn't marked. I'm almost certain that this is Avon, that this was an Avon purchase. And I like it because, I have this spot right here on my chin that likes to get inflamed. And I just do that. And just kind of use my finger. You don't want to rub it all the way in, like the Claricel. The Claricel is actually supposed to, I think it's technically a medication. So, yeah, you just kind of do that. And when I'm doing a full face, I almost always start with this, because I can get right here where I have another spot that likes to show up. And I can also, and I like to use this for the bags under my eyes. Boop. Let's see. Let's see, it looks better already. That's my favorite. You have these sticks, and then you have liquid or powder. So that was one stick. This I use more when I'm contouring or actually want to like cover my entire face. So this is how I do it. I'm sure I'm doing it wrong, but it works for me. Jeez, I wish this light wasn't so glary. That's a little better. Oh yeah, now I'm pink. Yay. And it's just like, of course it goes on pale. Use your buffer thing. And I just blend it in. I use it because it's lighter. It's not technically my skin color, so I use it as a highlighter. And that's a contouring thing, so I won't really get into it. But if you found it actually in your color, it would make a really good concealer. And some of this stuff is like, I don't know. I'm not a makeup guru. I just know what works for me. Everything's supposed to have a certain function, but to me, a lot of the stuff kind of like goes on the same. Which is why I just kind of like use whatever. Okay, so that was stick stuff. Then you've got your powders. I'm going to start with hard powders. I've got two different colors here. This one, and it's all washed out, but I guess so is my face. This one is a tad bit darker, which is currently actually more my color. So this is super easy. You just slap it on. Just whoop. And because it's foundation, obviously it's supposed to like smooth out your skin or something, so that when you put on the rest of your makeup, it goes on evenly. I use it like a concealer. If I've used my little stick thingy on my gross spots, it kind of like helps smooth everything out so it doesn't stand out as much. I've still got that clear cell in, but you really can't see it anymore. So that's what I use the hard foundations for. I can't find the liquid. Oh, here it is. Okay. Next is, so this is actually a liquid eye primer. There are liquid foundations / concealers. I am not confident enough to use them because to me they go on tacky and chunky, and you really have to have like a special touch to be able to blend it in. And if you haven't, as you might have figured out, I'm not the best at blending, even with a powder. Again, this is an eye primer. It goes on to give you a base, like a solid base for your eye makeup. When I got this, I didn't really know what it was, but I ended up liking it. And I imagine, because it's been a while since I've tried a liquid foundation, that it works kind of the same. I really like this as an eye, for my eyes. I use it on both my on my eye bags and my lid. You just boop, put it on, and gently go over it. And I'm trying to like leave myself in sight so you can see what I'm doing. I can't really tell without my glasses, but yeah, in the mirror I can see a difference. This is the one I put it on, and it kind of, I don't know, I have some pretty dark eye bags, so it covers it up pretty well to me, and it gives you that foundation to kind of take the darkness out of your eyelid. Wait, wrong one. I like it. but just for my eyes. I don't like caking liquid stuff all over my face. And you're technically not supposed to mix the liquid and the powders together. You're not supposed to mix the sticks and the powders together either. It has come out cakey on me before because I use such light makeup, and I mostly just use it to hide my flaws, the things I don't want people to really notice. I don't think it's really a problem because I don't use heavy makeup. So that was a liquid primer. I'm going to go ahead and do my other eye because now I feel lopsided. And voila! So pretty. Okay. This is another Avon. And I really only use powders when I'm contouring. I feel like because I use the hard powders for my contouring, the loose powders kind of like give it something to hold on to without coming tacky, because I've already used the sticks. I don't really know what the sticks are. I just like the sticks because they're hard and you can just kind of like smear them on without them getting cakey like a liquid. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm not overwhelming you more because there's a lot. I'm showing you all this. I'm actually kind of going through, if I'm doing a full face, this is what I do. Like, I do all of it. Most of all of it. Okay, so I've got my powder. Again, it's kind of like one of those things. I really only use it when I'm contouring. You can use it as a concealer. It's not technically a concealer, but it's all the same because makeup is fake. And you just put it on. You just want that. You just want like a basic layer. It doesn't need to go on thick. I know some women really cake it on, but again, I don't really, even when I contour, I don't do it that heavily. If you were a dude that didn't know what putting makeup on looked like, you probably usually won't be able to tell that I've contoured. I could tell. There's a difference. The thing that I wasn't going to touch on, again, I'm not entirely sure what this is. Oh, cream concealer. Okay, exactly what you're looking for. This is too dark for me. I got this when I was tanned, and it's way too dark for me now. But you just dab it on, and of course I'm doing it over powder, so it's over pale powder, so it's gonna super stand out. I liked this when I was darker, and I like this specifically, and it's Avon. I want to see if it's Ideal Flawless. I liked this when it was the only thing I was wearing. When I put that down and then do a powder, this specifically gets super cakey. But since you're just starting out, if you're just looking for something really fast, you might like something like this, just to like bloop bloop bloop, done. As far as technique, I am honestly, again, not an expert, but the spots I focus on are obvious flaws like acne scars, like here and here, and I got a couple like here and currently one on my neck. I like when I've got a pimple and it's super bright red and get rid of it. Oh God, that looks terrible. I use this Lysol wipe on my face. See, actually, that was probably a good example. You like while you're putting it on, you might not really be able to tell. I feel like there's a difference, but like when you wipe it off, you can see that there was a difference. I forgot what I was talking about. Okay. Spots I focus on are obvious flaws like acne scars, my big giant eye bags. I have kind of dark lids for my skin type. Like, again, this is kind of pale for me. If I'm doing like a 2-minute contour, I'll use this as a highlighter. And for highlighters, I'll just show you. You want to do forehead, cheeks, this spot, and then just blend it in. I don't even do like the dark parts if I'm like in a hurry and I want to look nice, like for work or something. Except I work at home now, so I get to look as grungy as I want all day, every day. Something else I want to talk about real quick is pigmenting. Most white people are going to have pinkish pigment. So makeup with pink pigment in it, pink red, I should say red, is going to look good and be blendable on white people's skin. Now the reason I'm bringing it up though is because there are some dark-skinned white people who try to use the red coloring, but they have more of an olive skin tone even though they're white. And you'll find this in like Asian beauty stores, and so that makeup has been formulated to look good on olive skin. So I don't want to assume that, you know, I'm super pink and white, so what the makeups I'm using are going to be pink and red. That's what looks good on me, and that is what is most widely marketed in the US, unfortunately. So how I do it is, in my experience, if you can see the color through the container, that's gonna be about correct. People do like little test. Yeah, it came out darker, but once you like put it on, it will be lighter than just globbing it on. I don't know if it's any different for black girls or girls or people with dark skin. As far as I understand, black girls also have that also have a red pigment to their skin. They're just much darker. And so it's not the pigmenting that's the problem, it's the shade. So I just wanted to like touch on that in case you were white and you're like, how come the stuff that she's using doesn't look the same on me? Might be why you might need a pigment that actually like appeals to your skin if you're darker than I am, which is not hard to be darker than I am. But that's just something I think a lot of people don't take into consideration. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. And that is my foundation concealer tutorial. I hope it helped. Let me know if I need to explain something more. I hope that helps. How do I turn this on?